What's up, everybody? This is Taco Josh 114, and in today's video we're going to recap what happened in the first stream of San Diego Studios talking about MLB the Show 19. And if you saw the stream, this video probably isn't for you, as I'm just going to recap what happened in the stream. But I am going to give some of my input and what I think as an avid player of MLB 17 and 18. And so if you're down to hear that, stick around. If you missed the stream, the purpose of this is just to get you up to speed so you don't have to watch an hour-and-a-half long stream. I'm just going to condense it into like 8 minutes, probably. The first thing they talked about in the stream was fielding rating improvements and fielding efficiency, really. And I'm not going to show any clips in this video because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to or if I'll get copyrighted, so I've taken screenshots from the stream. But they really hammered down that fielding efficiency has been updated in this year's game. You're no longer going to have these stupid animations where your infielder will wait back on a ground ball and somebody fast will beat out the play, because that was something that happened a lot in 18 and a lot in 17 and a lot in 16, and there's just no way to combat it. Like Billy Hamilton would hit a small ground ball to shortstop, and Francisco Lindor, who's a great fielder, would charge the ball a little bit, and then he would wait and sit back on his heels to field the ball, take a step, kind of pump fake, gather himself, and throw the ball over to first, and Billy Hamilton, who's 99 speed, would beat it out every time. And it was frustrating, but they showed probably 50 plus videos of just clips of the game, clips of gameplay, of just different scenarios where that's been fixed. And I think that's really promising. And it's definitely something that needed to be fixed, and clearly they'd put a lot of hard work into it, and overall it looked great. The game looked a lot smoother, it seems like it'll play a lot better, and now the mistakes that happen are going to be on us, the players, rather than the game. Okay, the next thing we kind of saw in the stream was about fielder rating in tandem with balls off the wall, and in this video we're going to talk about balls being played off the wall first. And I've taken a screenshot. This is actually from the trailer, the gameplay trailer they released, but you can see on the top we have a good fielder, and when the ball is going to be hit off the wall, a rocket off the wall, you're able to see the ribbon or the path of the ball after it's hit off the wall or is going to hit off the wall, so that the fielder knows how to play it. And so they talked about the better the fielder, the more clear the ribbon is going to be, just so that there's incentive for you to use good fielding cards and not have JD Martinez and Nick Castellanos, which we'll talk about here in a second, in the outfield. And so on the bottom we see the other end of that. We see a poorer fielder, and you can see the ribbon is not as clear. And this is something we got from the trailer, but they really talked about it and pounded it during the stream, which was they wanted for there to be a bigger difference between the best fielders and the worst fielders. And I think this is a great way to do it. Also, on a side note, they talked about the wall types are going to have an effect on how the ball bounces off the wall. So this clip, or this shot, is from LA, Dodger Stadium, and so those walls are padded. But if you go to San Francisco and you play a ball off the right field wall where it's brick and arches, it's going to bounce off a lot harder. And if you played 18 at all, the ball bouncing off the wall, it didn't matter where it hit on the wall or what kind of wall it was, it bounced off the same pretty much everywhere. And so this year you're really going to see it's not going to hit as hard off a padded wall as it will, off of bricks or off of a gate or off of, a chain link fence. And so I think that's a really great change that they've made as far as that goes. But the fielder rating part, where you can see where the ball is going to go, is so helpful. Because last year we saw it a lot. If you played the game at all, you had a ball, your opponent would rocket a ball off of the fence, and you would have no idea where it's going to go. And so what ordinarily in real life baseball would be a double, maybe a triple, would turn into home runs, right? Inside the park home run, just because, you know, your center fielder, if you're playing Ken Griffey Jr. in center, he would have no idea where the ball's going to go, and it just wasn't realistic to actual baseball. And so this allows better fielders to know where the ball is going to field off, and worse fielders to kind of know a little bit, but the better fielders certainly have the advantage. What does that mean? How do I know if my fielder is a good fielder or not? Just like in the spur of the moment, what if I forget? Well, MLB the Show and San Diego Studios has decided to put the fielding grades, as we can see in this screenshot, underneath your player. So you can see in the bottom right, we have, you know, the twin center fielder, diamond level fielder, and we can see that notated underneath his character with a diamond shield. And then the same thing in the bottom left, we have a gold shield. Then we have the Detroit third baseman has a bronze shield. And so each of these shields represent a different level of fielder. Obviously, you know, diamond being the best, bronze and common being the worst. And this has an effect not only on balls being hit off the wall, but also on the animations you get when you're fielding a ball, when you're breaking on a ball off the bat. You know, the throws branching from animations, they showed a bunch of those, which we'll talk about here in a second. But the fielding rating, it seems like they really took big strides this year into making sure that fielding rating mattered more than ever. And it just seemed really evident that that was something they were trying to do. And I think it's something they did pretty well, showcasing it in the stream. They also talked about secondary positions. How if you play Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher, obviously, say we play him at shortstop, he's going to be terrible. And we saw some of that last year, but this year it seems like he's even going to be worse. And they have altered also the throw meter to make it even harder for him to make accurate throws, where last year it wasn't that hard to make accurate throws. But this year, with a player out of position, it's going to be harder to do so. And also a player playing out of position at first just isn't going to catch any kind of tough picks or even easy picks that a normal first baseman would catch on routine. And so it seems like they have taken, again, just massive strides in improving this aspect of the game, and you have to really appreciate San Diego Studios for doing this. So the second to last thing I'll talk about in this video, besides the new legend, is combating exploits. And the main way they did this was with new animations. And this basically what this means is they added new animations to prevent these cheesing plays you would see a lot in 17 and 18, where at the example they gave, or one of the examples they gave, because they gave a lot of them and I'm just going to talk about two, is say there's a runner on second and he steals third on the pitch, and on that same pitch you hit a ground ball at the second baseman. Well, in 18, more often than not, you see the runner round third and begin charging home. If he's a fast runner, he probably scores on that over 70 or 80% of the time. And this was frustrating, obviously, for many reasons. But this year, they showed clips of the first baseman now is going to catch the ball and turn and immediately throw it home, whereas last year we saw he would catch the ball and kind of step off the bag and hold it for a second, and then you're trying to trigger a throw to home, and he just wouldn't do it. until it was too late, essentially. And the runner would score, and you would be upset, and you'd lose by 1. And you'd be angry at the game and not pick it up again for 2 weeks, as I did repeatedly. And so it was really encouraging to see this new throwing animation branching off of a catching animation that was quick and that happened, without any kind of hesitation, and it gave you a better chance to get the runner out. Now, sure, he may still score. It'll depend on the jump he gets on the pitch or whatever, but hopefully that'll be alleviated at least a little bit. And the other thing they talked about was the exploit where the runner will attempt to steal second, but then you pitch out and he's like, oh no, and retreats back to first. Well, now they've input an animation where as he's turning around to go back to first rather, he will stumble a little bit and you'll have a better chance to throw him out. This won't happen 100% of the time, but it's really going to diminish the chances that people will want to steal and then turn around if they don't like the pitch. And that to me was just very encouraging, because everybody, it seemed like, was doing this. And so now if you have a chance to get him out, like a realistic chance to get him out. The very last thing they talked about in the fielding stream was their new legend. And they announced with a pretty epic trailer, I might add. Great job to the San Diego Studios production team. It was an amazing trailer. It got me really hyped. The new legend is none other than Jimmie Foxx. Foxx is a guy that hit over 530 career home runs. He had a season where he hit 58, and I'm sure that'll be a card with just crazy power. They didn't announce any attributes today, and they said that'll come in a later stream, so that'll probably be a later video. But it seems like the game has taken just massive strides forward this year as far as fielding goes, and we'll have the hitting stream a little bit later on today. I'm pretty excited. The stream got me very excited for MLB the Show 19, and I cannot wait, honestly. It's gonna be great. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know it got a little long. I touched on everything, or I tried to as best as I can. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and comment below what you're most excited for about this new game. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.